Hey y'all, it's Melissa at Messy Missy Creates. I thought that we would play with some stamps today. You saw me do this. Maybe you saw me, maybe you didn't. Do this in a video not too long ago. And I just did it for something that I needed that particular moment. But what I happen to have is, I think it's all May stamps except for maybe this one. From May Made It. These are her designs. She makes her own stamps, and I thought I had a couple of different categories that I thought I would go ahead and make, instead of printing out clip art for these particular things to use in my journal, I would stamp them. And yeah, so I thought we would just have a little fun and play. And you can go take a second and go get your coffee or your your journal, your craft of your choice. And yeah, you can play along or stamp along or craft along in whatever form that you want. So this is, I know there's a really bad glare. Okay, so I want to use the foam off of this one. This is actually a scripture stamp. She has a regular stamp club and she has a scripture stamp club. And that one's not big enough. Okay, so that's kind of overkill. Let me get this one. And the easiest way to, these are the, they're not silicone, they're polymer. The cheaper ones are silicone and they don't stamp as well. So if you have clear stamps that, like, when you ink them, they bead up, and when you stamp them, they like dot. Either A, your stamp isn't primed, or B, it's a cheaper silicone stamp. These are better quality. I think they're a polymer, some kind of, I don't know. Anyway, this is a brand new, I haven't used this one yet. So if you have a brand new stamp and you want to prime it, they come from the factory with a little bit of a coating on it. So you can do this as easily as take your thumb and rub it all over, or you can take a pencil eraser and erase it. Or, I mean, the easiest thing is just to use your thumb. Or you can just stamp it out a couple of times. What I usually do is just, do that. And you're kind of just mushing it on there. But I set it down. You don't ever want to set your stamp down, your clear stamp. You don't ever want to try that again. You don't want to ever sit it down on the flat side, because if you do, that's going to pick up. That's the sticky side. There's the side where the design is. You want to lay it down like that, and whatever stamp block you're using, you want to pick it up like that. Okay, you heard that stick, right? You heard how it stuck. That's because it still has a little bit of that coating and stickiness on it. So anyway, if I am stamping out sentiments or something fine line that I'm not going to color with alcohol markers, then I use VersaFine. The black, it's a pigment ink. If you use your alcohol markers with this, it will run. Alcohol moves alcohol, water moves water. And let's see, I have this one that is this is from My Favorite Things. It's called Extreme Black. It's a hybrid, and it's supposed to be compatible with alcohol markers. It's not as clear. You're going to get a clearer stamp with this VersaFine. Now, because all of you may have stamps, and you might be stamp frustrated. And so we might be able to solve a little bit of that. Now, I may color these, but I just know if I use this VersaFine that I have to either use like colored pencil or some cheap like Crayola marker, right? So I lay the stamp down. I take the stamp pad to the piece. Now you can tell it's bubbling up a little bit. You got to get it, and then you can tell, you know, you got to get past that brand new stamp thing, that coating on it. And then you just place it down. I'm going to work from the top down. You just set it down on the even mark. You let it sit there for a minute. Not a whole minute. I didn't mean a whole minute. Just for a few seconds. And let that ink kind of move in the paper like that. And then you get a clear image. Now, if your stamps are not coming out like that, they could be either a cheaper stamps, or maybe your ink is not, I don't want to say not good enough, not, and I hate the term juicy, but there's maybe just sometimes no better word to use than that. It might not have enough ink in it. So if you're not getting a clear, you know, a clear print, or sometimes if it's a bigger stamped image, you might have a bubble in it. So peel it off and then put it down and then put it back on, and make sure to push it down with your thumb. And sometimes that helps get those bubbles out, because where there's a bubble, it's not going to sit evenly. So I hope that helps. If you have any other stamp questions, feel free to let me know. That doesn't mean you're going to get a perfect result every time. I may have actually, when I set this down, I think I set this one down kind of at an angle. Oh, it still came out all right. I don't have room for another one right there. But I'm just going to stamp out a few of these. I don't journal every phone call I make. But I also don't talk on the phone a whole lot. I mean, other than my husband, you know, calling, what are we having for dinner, that sort of thing. So sometimes when I talk to someone I don't normally talk to, or like a long phone call, or maybe a business call, you know, something like that, then sometimes I'll document my phone call. I'm going to do 2 more of these things, how I have it out, and might as well use it, right? And then I'm going to cut these out, and I will have them in my stash. So if I'm going to color them, I'm going to color them before I cut them out. I do believe. Now, I used to not do this. Used to not to. That's a southern term, if you were wondering. Used to not to. I used to not like to fussy cut out these stamped images. I actually have a Brother Scan and Cut that I can run this whole page through, and it will cut them all out. It's a little bit of a hassle to get to right at the moment. I don't have it hooked up. So, and I don't have a, oh, this I just got from like Hobby Lobby or Michael's or something. It's a chamois, like a stamp cloth. And depending on what ink you use, some of the inks will stain. Like you've seen me recently use this archival ink. And that's perfectly fine too. I just wanted clear images, so I knew with VersaFine I could get a clear image. Now it also takes a minute to dry. The pigment inks take a little longer to dry, so I'm not touching them. But this archival ink, it is waterproof, but you can't use alcohol markers with it. You can use watercolor markers and regular markers like Crayola and stuff like that. But that one, you can't use the alcohol markers either. So I'm going to put this one back up. And that one away. I'll put it away later, or not. And I'm really eager to do this crafty one. However, we are going to take another small road trip next month, which is sneaking upon us very quickly. So I wanted to get a couple of these rather than printing out a vehicle taking a road trip, I have these stamps and I already have this ink, so I might as well use them. Okay, so this is my flat side facing up. I'm going to set this down like this, and I'm going to take my stamp block and pick it up. And again, I haven't used that stamp, so as I'm running my thumb across it, I'm just going to also kind of prime it. The oils on your thumb will help get that just a little factory coating. Now, if you ever do like drop your stamp and the back of it, the smooth side, hits the ground and it gets stuff all over it, run it under some lukewarm water and let it lay it smooth side up, lay it out to dry, and then it will re-stick. Or if you have one that's not sticking anymore, that generally works. I have not had an instance where it hasn't worked. So if you have, let me know. I have not had such a situation. Now you can see I got ink all over that. So this little ink chamois, I just keep it in a little bowl and I dampen it whenever I am going to stamp. And this is a thinner lined image, so this VersaFine is really good to use with this. Now, if I were going to color with marker, I would use, I thought I had it out. I use a different, I would either use this from My Favorite Things, but you probably don't have that unless you are a real, unless you really get into, you would not, that ink isn't sold at a regular store. You'd have to order that from like My Favorite Things. So unless you're a card maker, you might not know about My Favorite Things. This Memento, this is pink. I have it in black. That is what I use if I'm going to stamp that or this. The Memento is sold at regular stores, or you know, it's sold more places than the My Favorite Things. So anyway, I just thought I would throw that out there. I'm going to stamp one more of these just so I have it, because I don't get the stamps out every time I want a little card. It's just easier for me to print it. But I thought this might be just a fun little play session. And you know, maybe you can pick up a few tips or tricks on stamping. So I just apply even pressure and I get a fairly clear line. Again, the VersaFine ink, and it's really not any more than, I mean, it's maybe $7, $6 or $7 for this, as opposed to maybe if you find the Memento or the archival ink, it might be $5 if you find it at a box store or, you know, one of your craft stores. But it is a very good, also if you go on Mamie Made It, she sells the VersaFine and it comes in other colors. Just in case you can't find it in a store, but I think Joanne sells it. The VersaFine, I think. They also sell the Memento ink. I might stamp, I'm going to stamp this road. Okay, now, did you see how I put that on there? Okay, if you put it on like this, you're not going to get it straight. And when I say straight, I don't mean angled. I mean straight as in because they bend this way and that. If you lay it out flat, designs or smooth side up, and then put it on like this, the stamp will lay flatter. And then it's not going to be like, you know, a windy road and curved. So I thought I would stamp this out a couple times just so I have a road. Oops. Now I made a real mess. Did you see that? I dropped my ink pad. I need to put this ink pad to my right. There we go. That way I can quit reaching across you. And I just wipe off the extra ink that I made the mess. I did not prime this one very well with my thumb. So I'm not sure how it's going to come out. I'm going to do it like that. Let it sit for a few seconds. There. And if you push down too hard, I pushed too hard right there, and you can tell it squished down and it made it fatter right there, if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that or not. So, you know, these stamps are squishy, right? Because they're made of squishy material. So, there, I have a road for each one of my little cars there. So, hopefully, I will remember when we, see, you can tell I put that on like a windy road. There you go. All right, so I'm done with that one. And then I do want to do some of this. This is a Bible, or it can be just a book. It does have the crosses and stuff on it if you want a Bible. I thought instead of printing my little church thing, that maybe I would use this. Sometimes they're hard to get out of that plastic. And then we're going to move on to this crafty one that has the paper punch and the glue and all the things. I just think they're so cute. But I do want a couple of these Bibles. I don't know if I want the open one. I think I'm just going to do a closed one for now. I may have to use that open one. I do have a stamping platform. I have a Misty, and I have the stamp wheel. If you are debating on getting either one of those and you want to ask me in the comments what my opinion is, I will tell you. I'm not going to tell you over a video, but I will give you my honest opinion of those. Which is not bad. It's good. I'm just not gonna, I'm not endorsing a product here is what I'm trying to say. I mean, I guess in a sense I am, because I'm using most of May's stamps. But anyway, she has a little store. You've heard me talk about her many times. I'm not a sponsor for her or anything like that. I love her and her family and her products and her store. And every time we go through that direction of Alabama, I always stop and visit her store. Let me see. I think I can put... Ooh, don't move the paper. There we go. I love going in her store. And you can buy it online, too. She does, you know, a lot of stuff online. I think everything that's in her store is also online. So, I know she sells all these stamps, obviously, and that's the only place that you can buy her stamps is at her store. She doesn't sell them like through another website or anything like that. So if you ever see any that aren't on her website, they're not real, unless I guess somebody could sell them used or something like that. But I don't know. Anyway, I'm just babbling at this point. So I thought this might be fun. It might be boring as all get out. I don't know. But I thought I would do it anyway. Just as a break from the journal videos and stuff like that. So I don't do this all the time. I mean, I'll sit down and do it, you know, a little bit. I haven't done it enough lately. It's been something I've, here's another term, southern term for you, been gonna do. Something I've been gonna do. It's something that I have been meaning to do for a while, and I just haven't taken the time to sit down and do it. Even though I love doing stuff like this because it's just pure play. So, hopefully, if you have stamps that you want to use in your journal. Now, obviously, you can get the stamp out and stamp it directly onto your journal, too. And I've done that as well. I don't do it so much in the journals that I'm using now. When I use the comp book, the composition notebooks, I did more then. But, you know, it's kind of a hassle to get out a stamp set just to use once. So I thought this would be the better option. So hopefully if you're going to do this, that you've gotten them out and you're joining in and playing along. Now you can leave them like this and they look like books. I'm going to come back. Oh no, I don't have room to do one more, do I? Okay, so I'm going to wipe that off. And I clean it off more. I'm not like, oh, you got to keep your stamps pristine, because it's going to stain a certain amount, right? I do it so I don't get my fingers quite as inky, and therefore get it all over my paper. Okay, so I do want to put this on there. It says Holy Bible, and then there's a cross. So if I think I can use this little itty bitty stamping thing. I can. Okay, I haven't used this little one. We'll see how big of a mess I make with it. Okay, now I'm going to actually take it to the stamp because it's so small. And I'm going to see if I can get... I may just put it up top. I was going to do the cross too. Well, I've already touched the paper, so it might have smeared. No, it actually did pretty good. Her stamps are pretty clear, especially if you use the VersaFine ink. But even when I just use the Memento ink, I get a really clear... Her stamps are real good quality. There we go. Ooh, I pushed down a little too hard on that one. As Tim Holt says, you don't want to do CPR. You're not trying to, you know, revive them and bring them back to life here. You just want some decent, you know, just some good contact. Okay, so I think I'll put that one back up. I'm going to try one or two with this cross. This stamp set is so cute. It even has a little tab right here that you could put on like the open page or right here. It is so cute. Okay, so there's a cross, an upright cross, and there's a this angled cross. I'm gonna take it, and I just went against what I just told you to do. I just want to, oh, I just touched. Let me clean my fingers off. I'm gonna see. I can't get directly over it to see if I'm, yeah, I didn't, let me wipe that off real good. I didn't prime that one. I got a little bit of a bubbly image out of that. There we go. Now I got a solid image. And instead of trying to stamp back over that, if it bothers me, what I'll probably do is just take like a black pen, black marker of some sort, and just touch it up. Memento actually even sells a black marker for such occasions. So it's kind of a stamping hack, you know, so to speak. Ideally, I would have put the cross on top of where it says the Bible, but I wasn't sure they both would fit. So, okay. I'm going to put this one up. I've got a little bit more room on that one, but I want to let it dry real good. I'll put this one away. Well, it's real hard to line them all back up. Okay, so I've got that one. Now I want to play with, I'm going to get rid of that little one for now. I want to play with this crafting one. And then I was thinking the cupcakes for like birthday. This one's actually a scripture stamp. I showed this one in a video before. It's the created on purpose for purpose. This one I'm just going to use the paper punch and the glue and the scissors and the washi. I'm not sure I'm going to use the X-Acto knife, and I'm probably not going to use the paint. Because the cap is separate, and I don't want to, since I'm doing these in advance, I don't want to have to keep up with two separate pieces. I was going to do this cupcake and maybe, you know, for a birthday. And then this one is one of hers that's not in a thing anymore. But it's a little bear. It's called Barely Special. But it's got a little bear with an envelope and a little bear with an, like, mail here. And one putting one or getting one out of the mailbox. So I thought about doing a couple of those to represent like Happy Mail or something like that. Or if I got the mail or went to the post office or something. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do that one first, I think. Let me do... I think this will fit on here. Now, I've used these before. Oh, that one's not gonna fit on there. Okay. So I'm going to see, when I just pushed it down on the ink pad, it didn't transfer the ink. You can't tell where the ink is going. But when you do it like this, you can see when all the lines are filled in. When you do it, put the stamp upright and then take the ink pad to the stamp instead of the other way around. There. Now you do tend to get it on your fingers more trying to pick up the ink pad. But I thought I would just do this one with the mail, just to represent, you know, either I mailed something or maybe I got something fun in the mail. I have ink on my little knobbies there. And these little stamping blocks are just the Fiskars. You can get them at Joann's. You can find them on Amazon. If I think about it, I'll link them in the description below. And if I can find the inks on Amazon or whatever, but if not, the VersaFine Maymay sells Maymay.com. No, MaymayMadeIt.com. And she has a YouTube channel too. She does all sorts of paper crafting. She does a lot of cards, but she does a lot of folios. And like the other day, she was just doing like Christmas boxes, like goodie boxes. So that was fun. That was fun to watch. And very easy to make. I think using some 6x6 paper, which for me, that's really hard to, I was going to do this little bear with the envelope, but to save time, I think I'm going to go ahead and just skip to this crafty one. I was also, can you tell I used red ink on this once upon a time? That was red VersaFine or red StazOn. I can't remember. That was before I knew. This was like one of the very first stamp sets I got, and that was before I knew what I was doing. But I thought about the little pot and the apron, and because a lot of times I print off like when I'm cooking or something like that. So Okay. You can always, you know, just wipe it too, and get some of that residue off. VersaFine is a real sticky ink. You can emboss with it. So if another way to prime your stamps, a new stamp, if you need to, is if you have the, either use VersaFine ink in general, or you can use like the VersaFine clear ink, like the embossing ink, and stamp it a couple times with that. If you have one that's not giving you a clear image, sometimes that's a good thing to try. But I thought this might be fun. And I'm trying to use my, I have a ton of stamps. And some of them I got to specifically use in my journal, and I don't get them out. And so I thought today I'm going to make a point to get them out and stamp up a bunch of them and just have fun with them. See how good those are stamping out? Are you getting that clear image with your stamps? If not, you could be. It is possible. I see myself leaving fingerprints. And I need to re-wet my little, what did I call that thing? My little wipe thing. You can also use baby wipes or some sort of wipes to clean your stamps with, but I think it's Tim Holtz that said if you use those, or maybe he's the one that uses them. Somebody said that it can leave a residue on your stamps. So I don't use them. This is baby wipes are consumable. This one I can use over and over and over again, as you can see. It's stained, but I just rinse it and wring it out. And voila. I may have wrung it out a little too much this time. I don't think I have quite enough water on it. Okay. It's about time for a new chamois, because I'm leaving little chamois bits all over my paper. I've had it for a long time, and it's starting to like crumble a little bit. All right, so I thought we would use the glue. Excuse me. And the scissors. Oh, I'm going to do the scissors and washi together. I don't know if I'm going to use the glue. I might just stick to the scissors and washi and the paper punch. I do like that bottle of glue, though. I wish there was a glue stick. I don't have a glue stick stamp. That I do wish I had. Okay, let me see. I may stamp. Oop, I put that wrong side down after telling you not to do that. Okay, I'm going to put them together like that. There. I used acrylic ink or something. I used this as a palette one time, and it really stained my stamping block. So now it's hard to tell when I actually have ink on it, or when I have ink on it. Can't see where the top of my page is. I like these Fiskars because they have this little lip right here, and it's kind of a good grip to pull it up. You know, you can hold it and go straight down. Gives you something to hold on to. They usually sell them in a set. There's like a really big one, and then there's like this size, and then a really teeny tiny one. I leave something on that one. It says made from the heart or art from the heart or something. It's a little stamp I use on the back of my cards. Here's another one that I have. I have a bunch of them, but some of them, here's the little one. It says art from the heart, made just for you. And I leave that on there, and I use it on the back of my cards. I keep it with my card making stuff. I probably left that there a lot longer than I meant to on that stamp. But leaving it on for just a few seconds gives the ink a chance to move and absorb into the paper, and I just scooted that one. I'm surprised that one looked as good as it did. I'm trying to think, do y'all have any other ideas of what, I mean, I know you don't know what stamps I have. I mean, I have some that are just like I use in art journal. They're just like background stamps or whatever. But, yep, I think I can get one more on here. If you can think of anything else that, you know, would be, that we could use in the journal. And then that I'm just not thinking about. I went through my drawer with all my stamps in it, or not all of them, but the ones that, the May stamps. And I mean, honestly, I could keep going with this one. It'd probably be a good idea for me to do that. Of course, I could do the, I don't do much painting. Could do the bottle of glue. Yeah. Let's do that. I might come back and do some more of those. Let me just kind of put that here and get the bottle of glue off. I had gotten these, some of these fairly recently. This art one and the bear one and the recipe one and the couple of the other ones I've had for a while. But these I think I got the last time I was up there. And I just hadn't used them yet. Let's see how this one does. Oh, cute. Too cute. Now, if you have like a real colorful page or something like that, you know, I mean, you could just very easily just leave them black and white too. And then have just kind of a neutral place for your eye to land on your journal page. But I thought I would cut these up and then put them in my little clip art envelopes. And maybe save myself some printer ink. See how pretty of an image that makes? Her stamps are so good. Okay, so I can't do it that way. I can do it angled like that. There we go. See, that wasn't hard. Not hard at all. I'm going to do some more glue. I went from wasn't going to do it to now I'm going to do more. And I'm going to try to bump it up just a little bit because I think I can get that bottle on straight. Now, I could have done them this way and gotten a bunch of them on there. But, I mean, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Let's see. If I know I'm coloring them, I like to leave myself a little bit of room in between the images, but I I'm not 100% sure I would color the glue. I might would put, you know, like around the band or the nozzle or something like that. I didn't know. Yeah, I think it's gonna work. Ooh, I might have run it off the bottom of the page though. Ooh, nope. Just did. Okay. There we go. And oh, I haven't put the other ones back on there yet. What was I gonna do? I was gonna do, sorry, pardon my reach. I think I'm just gonna do some more scissors and washi and then call it good. I might not do the apron, or I can do that by myself or whatever. I think I'll just finish this page up with scissors and washi. I'm gonna hold it so that I can hold it like this. Turning my paper, because that's the easiest way to do it for me, is to hold it between my thumb and my middle finger like that. And then I need to wash my hands before I touch anything else, because I can see my fingerprints all over everything. I could have put those two things a little closer together too. Let me see. Yep, I got room for one more. That turned out perfect. Perfect. There we go. All right, close up my ink. Wipe that off. I can put them back up in just a minute. So I have some mail, and I have lots of craft stuff. And I have the Bible for when I go to church. And then for my road trip coming up. And then a phone, just to log phone calls. And then, like I said, I'm going to come back, probably do some cupcakes. And like some of this apron. I love this little kitchen timer. I don't know if you can see it because it's so stained. As a matter of fact, while we're here, oh, I did not mean to take that out. Let me move this one and bring this one back. I'm going to show you this little timer. It is so cute. It is so cute. Get my ink back. Look at it. Isn't it cute? I don't necessarily need that for my journal, but I just thought it was cute. Anyway. All right. I think that will probably wrap it up. I'm gonna, yeah, I think we've been going long enough. I'm gonna do a bowl. Will that fit on that stamp? Not really. It's got to fit on your stamp block. I'm going to do the bowl and the apron. I should have done the apron first. Anyway, I'm going to put some of this stuff up. I needed one more of these little medicine bottles, and then I can take this off and put it up. The scissors and the washi. There we go. Oops, I missed. I mean, it's got a little heart and paintbrush and the paints. If you do a lot of painting or something, you know, you could do, I don't know. Anyway, just super cute. So I'm going to do this little apron. And I wanted the pot, not the bowl. That's right. I'm going to do the apron first, though. Yeah, that really got stained. I don't know if there's any stamp cleaner that will get off that, because I'm pretty sure it was red StazOn. So it stays on. It stains. It's a stain. I mean, I don't know what it is, but it stains because it's meant to even stamp on like acetate. You gotta give it a drying period. But isn't that little apron adorable? It's adorable. I'll put 2 because I did put cooking on my journal entry for today, or yesterday rather. Ah, good job. Look what I just did. Messed up my telephones. Well, phooey. Oh, that even has, oh, this one is cute. It has like, you could do recipes like 1 cup, 2 teaspoons, 3 tablespoons, 3 ounces, Fahrenheit, Celsius, grams, pint, quart, gallon, pound, instructions. It's got a lot of different, it's a great stamp set. Now I'll be forever fussy cutting. Ooh, I think I overlapped that one. Oh, no, I didn't. Good deal. I only have 2 aprons, but now I have 4 pots. Can't believe I dropped that right there. Oh, well. It's okay. It's just going in my journal. So let me close up this ink before I make any other ink catastrophes. And get these out of the way. And so I have that one and that one. Isn't that cute? I love, and you know, like this one, all I might do is color the little red heart or the pink heart or something like that. And the scissors, you know, just maybe the handles or something. The washi tape would be fun to, it'll be fun to color, and, you know, you could do polka dots or whatever. But, I just thought that'd be fun. So what do you think? You gonna give it a try? Do you have any stamps? Let me know in the comments. And I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope it gave you some good ideas. I hope it makes you look at your supplies a little differently and see what you can dig and find to use in your journals. Or you can make a card with it. That's what they're designed for. So, well, I mean, stamps, you know, I think their first duty is card making. That's not a have to. Nothing written in stone. So anyway, all right, I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.